I believe teachers should be enthusiastic and excited about shaping the minds of their students. If somebody isn't willing to work hard and be an influential teacher, then he or she should choose a different career choice. I still remember my first day of middle school. I had so many butterflies in my stomach and was nervous to meet my teachers. My very first class in middle school was World Geography with Mr. Bona, and I remember thinking, great, a history-related class. I hated history. When I walked into the class, I found a seat and was waiting for class to start. Mr. Bona began with telling a joke and going over the syllabus. We then dove into the lesson and went over the PowerPoint, and throughout the lesson, Mr. Bona would pause and ask a question and offer gum to who could ever answer the question correctly. In addition to asking questions, Mr. Bona would constantly crack a joke, and his jokes were actually really funny. Mr. Bona had a skill of pulling the focus of the entire class into what he was saying. He was approachable and enthusiastic, and even after one day of class, I was in love with World Geography in room 33 with Mr. Bona. My next class of the day was pre-algebra with Mrs. Brown. Seeing as math is my favorite subject, I was pretty excited to start class. I thought for sure this was going to be my favorite class of the semester. However, I would soon discover I was mistaken. Mrs. Brown was an elderly woman who very much resembled a toad. When she walked across the room to her desk, it looked like she would rather be anywhere else in the world other than in room 15 of Corey Area Middle High School. When she spoke, she spat her words as if they left a disgusting taste in her mouth. She was very strict and made it clear that she would have order in the classroom. Nobody dared to speak in her class for fear of the death look and being utterly embarrassed. Math was my favorite subject, and Mrs. Brown somehow managed to make me dread going to pre-algebra every day. Unlike Mr. Bona, Mrs. Brown didn't make learning enjoyable. Actually, she did the opposite. She made learning a chore and something every student dreaded. When comparing the two different teaching styles of Mr. Bona and Mrs. Brown, I discovered something important about teaching, something that was a key ingredient in producing an effective teacher.